के बाद जाके ऑन साइट रजिस्ट्रेशन, जिसे आप बोलचाल की भाषा में वॉक इन रजिस्ट्रेशन कहते हैं, वो करा सकते हैं। लेकिन अगर आप ऑन साइट रजिस्ट्रेशन करना चाहते हैं तो कृपया 3 बजे से पहले न जाएं, क्योंकि 3 बजे से पहले वो लोग हैं जिन्होंने कि एडवांस में अपना अपॉइंटमेंट लिया हुआ है। आप जाएंगे, आपको बैठना पड़ेगा तो हो सकता है कोई आके आपसे पूछे कि आप कब से बैठे हुए हैं, और आप फिर सही बात बताएंगे, मैं तो सुबह 10 बजे से बैठा हुआ हूँ। लेकिन आप अपने अज्ञानता के वश बैठे हुए हैं वहाँ, ये कोई नहीं बताएगा। तो इसलिए मेरा निवेदन ये है कि अगर ऑन साइट रजिस्ट्रेशन करना है तो आप कृपया 3 बजे के बाद अपने नज़दीकी कोविड वैक्सीनेशन सेंटर पर जाएं और कोई भी आइडेंटिटी डॉक्यूमेंट लेकर जा सकते हैं। सामान्यतः लोग आधार या इलेक्टोरल फ़ोटो आइडेंटिटी कार्ड लेकर जाते हैं, लेकिन हमने 7-8 अन्य डॉक्यूमेंट्स भी आपको बताए हैं, जिसमें कि बैंक की पासबुक है, पासपोर्ट है, राशन कार्ड है, अगर उस पर आपकी फ़ोटो और आपका डेट ऑफ बर्थ है, वो हमारे स्टैंडर्ड ऑपरेटिंग गाइडलाइंस में है। अब मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूं कि प्राइवेट फैसिलिटीज़ का उपयोग देश भर में वैक्सीनेशन के लिए किस प्रकार से किया जा रहा है। तो ये एक रेंज है। इस रेंज में एक तरफ उत्तराखंड, मेघालय और हरियाणा जैसे राज्य हैं, जहां 17% से लेकर 19% तक कुल डोजेज प्राइवेट अस्पतालों में एडमिनिस्टर होती हैं। दूसरी तरफ इसमें पंजाब, मिज़ोरम, दिल्ली और तेलंगाना जैसे राज्य हैं, जहां 30% से लेकर 48% तक डोजेज प्राइवेट अस्पतालों में एडमिनिस्टर होती हैं। हमारा राज्य सरकारों को परामर्श ये है कि जितने भी प्राइवेट अस्पताल उनके पास इम्पैनल्ड हैं अब तक, उन सब का इस्तेमाल कोविड वैक्सीनेशन के लिए किया जाना चाहिए। ये पहला अनुरोध है। All private facilities must be optimally utilized for COVID vaccination. When we say all private facilities, it means those private facilities which have 4 amenities. Which are these 4 amenities? 1, adequate space. What is adequate space? Adequate space basically are 3 rooms. 1 waiting room, 1 vaccination room, 1 observation room, because after vaccination you have to sit for 30 minutes and be under observation. So this is the first amenity that a private hospital must have. The second amenity that a private hospital must have is a cold chain. In the context of Indian vaccination, cold chain basically means having a well functional refrigerator, because most of our vaccines are 2 degrees to 8 degrees centigrade storage. The third amenity that each private hospital must have is adequate number of vaccinators and verifiers. ऐसे आदमी जो आपको टीका लगा सकें और ऐसे आदमी जो आपका आइडेंटिटी चेक कर सकें. And the last and fourth amenity that a private hospital must have is the ability to address adverse events following immunization. तो जिन भी प्राइवेट अस्पतालों के पास इस 4 प्रकार की फैसिलिटीज़ हैं, उन सब का ऑप्टिमल उपयोग किया जाना चाहिए. यहाँ आप देखेंगे कि अनेक राज्य हैं जो उस दिशा की ओर बढ़ रहे हैं, लेकिन अनेक राज्य हैं जहाँ की ये स्थिति और इम्प्रूव हो सकती है. अब मैं अंतिम जो आपके साथ जानकारी साझा करना चाहता हूँ वो ये है, मैंने आपको पहले बताया था कि NEGD के माध्यम से हम देखते हैं कि जिन लोगों ने टीका लगाया उनका सेटिस्फैक्शन लेवल क्या रहा. ये आंकड़े आज सुबह के हैं और ये आंकड़े हैं 47,57,000 रिस्पॉन्सेस पर आधारित. ये जो 47,57,000 का फिगर है, ये बहुत छोटे छोटे अक्षरों में वहाँ बॉटम पर लिखा हुआ है, आप उसको देख सकते हैं. हमने जो सवाल पूछा वो था कि सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग या फिज़िकल डिस्टेंसिंग वैक्सीनेशन साइट पर मेंटेन हुई कि नहीं. 96% ने कहा हाँ. हमने सवाल पूछा कि क्या वैक्सीनेशन प्रोसेस की पूरी जानकारी आपको दी गई और वैक्सीन आपको प्रॉपरली मिला कि नहीं. 97% से ज़्यादा लोगों ने कहा हाँ. हमने पूछा कि क्या आपको एडवर्स इवेंट फॉलोइंग इम्यूनाइजेशन की जानकारी दी गई, 87% ने कहा हाँ। इसके आधार पर हमने राज्यों को ये सुझाव दिया है कि एडवर्स इवेंट्स के बारे में बेहतर ब्रीफिंग बेनिफिशरीज़ की जानी चाहिए। हमने सवाल ये पूछा कि क्या आपको टीका लगाने के बाद 30 मिनट बैठने के लिए कहा गया कि नहीं, 96% ने कहा हाँ। अंत में हमने ये पूछा कि जो ओवरऑल अनुभव आपका रहा, क्या आप उससे संतुष्ट हैं कि नहीं, 97.5% लोगों ने कहा हाँ। धन्यवाद।
I will open the floor for questioning. Okay, sorry, sir. Dr. Paul, sir.
Thank you. I'd like to emphasize a few very important points because as you have noticed last few weeks, the situation is becoming from bad to worse and is a serious cause for concern. In some states in particular, there is a huge cause for worry, but I think no state and no part of our country, no district, no zilla should be complacent. Because what the trends show is that the virus is still very active, can penetrate our defenses, and when we think we have found ways to control the virus, it strikes back. It has done so in our country and it has done so in other countries. And therefore there is a concern which we all should be mindful of. We have seen that the active cases were down to about 1 lakh, just above 1 lakh, and now they are 5.4 lakh. Of course, almost 2/3, 63% are in one particular state, and that too in a few districts of that state. But the fact is, it is a 5 times rise, more than 5 times. The new cases used to be about 9,000 per day, and day before yesterday, it was 68,000. Yesterday, 56,000. Maybe people have been responsible during the festival season, only time will tell. So that's again 6-7 times acceleration. That's huge. We have taken pride as a nation that the case fatality rate has been low, and thank God it is still low. But from 77 deaths per day, as low as 77, now we are witnessing 4 times that number. 271 is one number last couple of days. So clearly we have to be very, very vigilant. And not only in those states where the battle is raging, Maharashtra, Punjab, other states that we discussed at length, but in every state of the country. Because if it is there somewhere in our country, it is there in the entire country, this virus. If it is not eliminated from every village and every city, every district, every state, it is not eliminated from the country, it will hit us back. So, in that regard, we reported to you an emergent meeting that was taken at length, and we highlighted the approach that was communicated in fullest earnest to the states, and we are following that up day on day basis. But I want to emphasize the fact that without effective contact tracing, without quarantining the contacts, and wherever cluster of cases appear, without creating zones of containment, without isolating those geographies, we allow the chains of transmission to be active, and the virus then has its own run, and then things go beyond a certain level, things become out of control. So Secretary Saab has highlighted how we went through all the tools that are available to control the pandemic systematically, with special emphasis on containing and suppressing the chains of transmission through effective contact tracing, containment efforts, surveillance efforts, protocolized management of positive cases if they are at home so that they don't infect other people, protocolized management of contacts if they are quarantined so that they don't infect other members of the family potentially, and they are not infecting people in the society. These are critical principles. And also, this vaccine, the mask vaccine, social vaccine, as you have heard us speak from here, a name given by our Secretary Sir, Rajesh Bhushan, thank you. The social vaccine is also 70% protective. That's what Dr. Bhargav tells us from science data. 70%. Same as the biological or pharmaceutical vaccines. Why have we become lax about it? Why? Can you please join hands with the government to please bring back compliance with the masks? We can have all the vaccines in the world, but we will for a long period of time need to be also dependent upon masks to protect us, protect our families, protect this community. So the message today is somewhat somber to say that we are facing increasingly severe or severer intensive situation, more so surely in some districts, but the whole country is potentially at risk, and therefore all efforts to contain, to save lives should be taken. And today we come back to also remind ourselves that our hospital preparations and ICU preparations, which we talked long back ago, because things were under control, have to be reminded that we have sufficient capacities in our hospitals. Our ambulance system is functional. Our ICUs are functional. Dedicated hospital setup that was instituted in this nation hugely and escalated and scaled up very rapidly must be re-energized, retested, rehearsed, so that when the load of patients will come, we are able to manage it effectively. Remember, if the cases are more, they will eventually overwhelm the system. They'll put pressure on the system. The deaths will also occur. Even if it is low, proportionately low, the deaths will also rise. So we cannot accept the situation. We have to respond. If it is business as usual, we will continue to be chased by the virus rather than other way around. On the vaccination front, we are reporting to you steady acceleration. We now expect very, very fast uptake when the larger community of all citizens 45 and above will now be eligible. Our systems are functioning very well. Look at the level of satisfaction people have. We now have the confidence to accelerate. We want to appeal to people to please take the vaccine, embrace the vaccine, take the doses that are required at the right time. Don't miss this opportunity. We want the enthusiasm of above 60 citizens of ours to also revamp, re-energize itself. And also we are of course adding a huge other group, a large group of people who will now be receiving the vaccine, and we hope there will be huge participation of all of them. I would also join in appeal that was made by Secretary Rajesh Bhushan ji about larger engagement of the private sector. We are seeing only less than 6,000 vaccination sites are being run on a daily basis on an average by the private sector. The registered number of private sectors is much more, perhaps about 20,000 to my knowledge. So we want a greater participation because we want to, shall we say, accomplish this job the quickest possible time. For that, supply is not an issue. And therefore, in particular, when we are moving to the larger community of all people, now below 60, up to 45, a significant increase in the involvement of the private sector as well as expansion of the public sector system would be needed. We are also looking forward to improvising our approach as we move along to maintain the pace and accelerate the pace. But at the same time, even as we are scaling up the vaccine, we want this vaccination to be most intensified in those areas where the battle is raging, in particular the states that you heard. So can we accomplish everybody's coverage in the next few days as much as possible for those who are already eligible? We hope we all have been responsible during Holi season, and coming festivals, coming gatherings should also be responsibly dealt with. We must take precautions of mask, but also avoiding being in crowds, and to look at possibilities of restrictions as required in local conditions, to discipline ourselves and to be away from those situations which enhance the spread of the virus. Thank you.
Okay, now the floor is open for questions. So I can see Sonakshi first. Sonakshi, you can go ahead, please. Please identify yourself and the organization.
So my name is Sonakshi. I'm from NDTV. My question to you is whether the Covaxin and Covishield, their efficacy have been tested, and do they really work on the novel mutant strains in India? And if so, then has this efficacy been tested on these strains?
The efficacy of both these vaccines, whether it is Covaxin and Covishield, is effective against the UK variant and the Brazilian variant. The work against the South African variant is ongoing at several laboratories. There is no Indian strain as such.
In fact, this is when we repeatedly request you that such discourse has to be adequately informed. That is what we are requesting you with folded hands. There are no Indian strains. We have repeatedly said this. Dr. Paul has said this. Dr. Sujit Singh, who is the nodal for INSA-COG, has said this. There are two concepts. I am not the competent person to speak about it, but since I think I can explain it in simple words, I am explaining this. There is the concept of virus shift and there is a concept of virus drift. All viruses drift. As I infect him and he infects another person, the virus replicates itself but changes. Right? So that itself is not important. That does not call for any rapid change in the public response strategy. However, when a virus shifts, it undergoes significant changes, and therefore there is a need to test whether my existing vaccines work against that virus, and that is the condition that is known as variant or mutant virus. Otherwise, viruses change. It is natural and inevitable phenomena. Please keep that in mind. Particularly a virus which is around for more than a year, which has traveled more than 1 crore people. So obviously it will undergo change. So that is natural, inevitable, not a cause to panic. Would you want to add something to this?
I think I'll just add one point, that mutations are sporadic and single mutations are not found to be dominant in any particular area in India. In terms of the significance of point or double mutations, what you're talking about, and I think that is what the lay people are getting confused with, they are not significant as far as India is concerned, and their relationship with increased severity or transmissibility has not been established in the Indian context.
Niloji had raised his hand earlier.
सर, जो आप टेस्टिंग बढ़ाने की बात अभी शनिवार को जो मीटिंग में आपने कही 47 डिस्ट्रिक्ट को, पीएम भी मुख्यमंत्रियों के सामने मीटिंग में बोल चुके थे, 1 महीने से आप बोल रहे हैं, ये सब सारी चीज़ें वही हैं, 5-7 चीज़ें, फिर भी कोई फ़र्क नहीं पड़ रहा है, वो बढ़ता जा रहा है संक्रमण। तो उसका उपाय क्या है सर? सिर्फ बोलने से तो बात नहीं बनेगी, बात करने
नहीं, मैं आपको उसका उत्तर देता हूँ। अनेक राज्यों ने इस स्ट्रैटेजी को फॉलो किया है और प्रभावी ढंग से फॉलो किया है और अपने नंबर्स पर नियंत्रण पाया है। अब मैं आपको एक उदाहरण दे के समझाता हूँ। अगर हम कहते हैं कि किसी राज्य में पॉजिटिविटी 23% है, तो इसका क्या अर्थ हुआ? मैं एक नाव पर हूँ, मैं नदी के बीचों बीच हूँ, मैं जाल फैलाता हूँ और पहले जाल में ही 23 मछली फंस के आती हैं मेरे पास। तो ये मुझे क्या बताता है? ये मुझे बताता है कि ये नदी मछलियों से भरी हुई है। तो अगर ऐसा है तो मुझे क्या करना चाहिए? मछुआरे के रूप में मुझे बड़ा जाल फैलाना चाहिए। तो 23 क्या हो सकता है? मैं 100 मछली पकड़ूंगा। अब अगर इसको राज्य पर ट्रांसलेट करें तो मेरे राज्य की पॉजिटिविटी 23%, जितने टेस्ट मैं आज कर रहा हूं वो मुझे 23% पॉजिटिविटी दे रहे हैं, तो मुझे तो दुगने टेस्ट करने चाहिए। इसका मतलब बहुत सारी मछलियां ऐसी हैं जो नदी में घूम रही हैं और मेरे जाल से बाहर हैं। ये तो इतनी साधारण सी बात है। साइंस है इसके पीछे, लेकिन हर साइंस की बात जटिल हो और समझ में ना आए ऐसा तो नहीं है। और अनेक राज्यों ने इसको समझा, वो इस पे काम कर रहे हैं। और हमारा ये मानना है कि जिन राज्यों की जानकारी हमने आपसे साझा की, क्योंकि हम हर दिन उनसे बात करते, शनिवार को हमने की, आज डॉक्टर पॉल और डॉक्टर भार्गव उन्हीं के साथ बैठक करके आ रहे हैं, 3 बजे से वो बैठक थी, तो वहाँ भी लोग समझेंगे इसको। लेकिन समझाने के लिए तो आपको बार बार कहना पड़ता है ना। ऐसा तो है नहीं कि सबको कुछ ज्ञान की प्राप्ति हो रही हो। तो कुछ ज्ञान आपके पास है, कुछ इनके पास है, कुछ उनके पास है, तो हमें सबकी बात सुननी चाहिए और उसको फिर इम्प्लीमेंट करना चाहिए। तो यही हमारा अनुरोध है अलग अलग राज्यों से और संघ शासित प्रदेशों से।
Milan from India Today. So just wanted some clarity. Has the Maharashtra government said that they want to do door-to-door vaccinations, and is it true that the center is not allowing it? What seems to be clearly driving the pandemic in Maharashtra? Like what seems to be the only factor right now? So just take the first one if you could.
Second question, Dr. Paul or Dr. Bhargav can take. Before I answer the first question, let me put 2 facts before you. One, till date, we have not received any specific request from the state government of Maharashtra about what you call door-to-door vaccination being permitted. Second fact, in India, for decades, we are doing universal immunization program where injectable vaccines are given for decades. And the safety, efficacy, immunogenicity of those vaccines has been established for decades. And there we have not so far ever done door-to-door vaccination. What is it that we are dealing with today? It is an adult vaccination as distinct from universal immunization program where we have decades of experience. What we are dealing with is not only adult vaccination but also a vaccination where there may be adverse events following vaccination, for which you need to keep a person under watch for 30 minutes. So these are 2 facts. Now coming to the actual answer of your question. What is it that all states should focus their time and energies on? Because the resources, the healthcare resources and time of a state is most valuable, most precious. So it must be concentrated on the most important thing. And what is the most important thing? The most important thing is to achieve or target near saturation vaccination in districts that are seeing large numbers of the priority age group population. So as a state or a UT, I should be asking myself the question, am I focusing all my resources, all my energies, which is valuable and precious, to achieving near saturation coverage of age priority groups in those districts which are reporting a surge? If the answer is no, then I must focus all my time and energies there.
I'm Runjhun Sharma from CNN News 18. I'd like to ask, sir, how many people would be covered in the next phase since the comorbidity clause is gone now? So people above the age of 45, and we had the target of 30 crore people. Has it gone up now?
Just one preliminary submission, then I think Dr. Paul is more equipped to answer this. Numbers are not important. What is important is that we are saying, as the union government, we are saying that vaccination is available to all citizens above 45 years of age. Whether their number is 100 or 1000 or 1 lakh or 10 lakh, how is that relevant? What is relevant is that the message must go that this entire universe represented by 45 plus people can avail of vaccination, and as Dr. Paul said, vaccine hesitancy must go, and we must, as collectors of districts, as health secretaries of state, do our micro projection within the district. मेरे यहाँ इस एज ग्रुप के कितने लोग हैं, rather than we sitting here in Delhi saying कि लगभग इतने होंगे और फिर बाद में ये पता चले कि उतने नहीं हैं, उससे कम है या उससे ज़्यादा है. So to that extent, numbers are not relevant.
Also remember, the whole strategy has been to identify those people who are at the highest risk of mortality. So this nation has taken a conscious call, let's protect the most vulnerable, most high-risk individuals, and for them, from 1st of April, the universe that opens up takes care of almost 90% of potential mortality. It's a great goal to achieve, and the country would like to achieve. सरकार इसको जितनी जल्दी से जल्दी अचीव करना चाहेगी. वैक्सीन भी है, व्यवस्था भी है, वायदा भी है, तो इसको करके दिखाइए. अपनी तरफ से पब्लिक सेक्टर, प्राइवेट सेक्टर दोनों जुड़े, उसमें गति आए, जिसका कि जिक्र हमने किया. और दूसरी तरफ ये वैक्सीन हेजिटेंसी को बाहर फेंको, और जो भी एलिजिबल है आगे आए और अपना टीका लगाएं, इस काम को पूरा करें. और फिर उसके बाद और समूह हैं, अभी तो वो भी लेने ही है ना, ये तो प्रायोरिटाइज करके कराए कि इस काम को पहले पूरा करें. और जो ग्रुप्स हैं उनको भी आगे बढ़ना है. ये मुहिम तो चल रही है, लेकिन इसका बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट जो हिस्सा है, सबसे महत्वपूर्ण हिस्सा है कि जान बचने के लिए जो वैक्सीन का प्रावधान, सप्लाई, उपलब्धता की जाए, वो सब कर दिया गया है. अब हमें इसको करके दिखाना है.
Here I'd like to add one point that 88% of the mortality of COVID, 88% of the mortality of COVID is in 45 and above. And we know that vaccination prevents severe disease as well as death.
सर मेरा एक सवाल है, मैं परिमल हूँ NDTV से ही. क्लिनिकल मैनेजमेंट को लेके कुछ चीज़ें आपने कही कि राज्यों को कहा गया है हॉस्पिटल को लेके और बाकी चीज़ों को लेके, जो पुराने दौर में स्थिति उसी तरीके से मामले बढ़ रहे हैं. और भी कोई सलाह दी गई है इन चीज़ों को लेके, अस्पताल को लेके, वेंटिलेटर को लेके, ICU को लेके इन राज्यों को?
एक नेशनल ट्रीटमेंट प्रोटोकॉल बनाया गया था जिसमें कि जो डोमेन नॉलेज के एक्सपर्ट्स हैं, जैसे डॉक्टर पॉल, डॉक्टर भार्गव, डॉक्टर गुलेरिया, अन्य जो डॉक्टर्स हैं देश भर के, उन्होंने मिलकर वो नेशनल ट्रीटमेंट प्रोटोकॉल बनाया, जिसको 6 या 7 बार रिफाइन किया गया देश के विभिन्न अस्पतालों के अनुभव के आधार पर. उसमें ये कहा गया कि यदि आपके माइल्ड डिजीज़ के साथ किसी अस्पताल में आते हैं तो आपका इलाज किस प्रकार से होगा. अगर आप मॉडरेट डिजीज़ या सीवियर डिजीज़ के लक्षण लेकर आते हैं तो इलाज किस प्रकार से होगा. ये भी बताया गया कि यदि आप ऑक्सीजन पे हैं तो रैशनल यूज़ ऑफ ऑक्सीजन कैसे किया जाए कोविड के मरीज़ों के लिए. ये भी बताया गया कि कोविड के रिकवरी के पश्चात जब आप अपने घर चले जाते हैं तब आप किन चीज़ों का ध्यान रखें. ये हमारे वेबसाइट पे भी है, राज्यों के साथ भी है. और सप्ताह में 2 दिन एम्स नई दिल्ली के जो डॉक्टर्स हैं वो राज्यों के डॉक्टर्स के साथ एक वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंस करके इसके बारे में जो सवाल होते हैं उनका जवाब भी देते हैं। ये हर मंगलवार और हर शुक्रवार को एम्स द्वारा की जाती है।